So check it out, y'all. I got a question for you real quick. What do you think of when I use the word your number one fan? I feel like you think of that as a deficiency. You think of that as a peasant or whatever the case may be. That puts you in the superstar category. If you have a number one fan, if you're so popular that you have fans or whatever the case may be, and then you have a number one fan, you may look at him as the biggest peon of them all. A lot of times you look at a fan or someone who admires you as an inferior, someone that is below you, someone that is beneath you. Could you ever love your fan? Could you ever be a fan of your fan? Could you ever be a fan of your number one fan? See, a lot of y'all are asking men to be your number one fan. But you can't be a fan of his because you feel like he's weak if he's your number one fan. If he puts you ahead of everything, if he believes in you, loves you, or whatever the case may be, that superstar mentality where you know that the most outgoing, most beautiful personality having person who becomes a star all of a sudden feels like they're too good to talk to what they call regular people. All right? Because now they are abnormal. They're not a regular person. They're a star. This is the mindset of our black women. The world has put you in a mode of believing that you are a superstar. And you want your number one fans, but you want your fan, but your number one fan and the person who wants to be your number one fan, and that's not him submitting to you or something like that, but he wants to be there for you or whatever the case may be. He wants to do all the things that a man is supposed to do for you. You see that as a weakness. That is where the word simp comes from. The word simp doesn't come from what he does. It comes from how you treat him in return. All right? Him being good to you has nothing to do with him being a simp. It's what you do when you receive it. It's being appreciative. If you're being appreciative and reciprocating that energy, not doing the same things for him, but reciprocating that energy in your own way to do things in return because he's being who he is. See, the thing about it is, what people don't understand is, whether you want to believe it or not, and whether you want to have labels or not, there are labels and responsibilities and roles. Now, the man's role is to adore a woman. Hence the title, number one fan. The woman's role in a relationship is to adore the man because he adores her. Because when a man adores you, and I've said this on a couple of videos, when a man adores you, that's going to exude the energy and effort that's needed in order to take care of you. Alright? So we're visual first, and then directly after that, it's personality. Alright? I need to know that I'm looking at my wife. Then I am ready to be your number one fan if I look at you and I see my wife. And as long as I look at you and I see my wife and I'm ready for that shit, I am willing to do whatever it takes to make you happy. Now, who are you going to be in return? Are you going to be a person who can be the number one fan of your number one fan? And that's where the disconnect actually comes. The disconnect actually comes with you being your number one fan's number one fan, because you look at your number one fan and see someone who is beneath you, someone who is your court jester, someone who is a clown, essentially, someone who you will make into a simp, because all of the things that you do, all of the things that he does, you don't appreciate it. That's not a problem within the men. That's a problem within you. Show off.